Gravy, baby.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Gravy, baby,
Listen-
everybody.
We don't have to do this, but I was just thinking about like a 2025 recap.
Yeah.
And like, instead of doing like 5 categories of 5, just do your like top 5. You don't have to do it today, by the way. But like before they just do your top 5, like gravy, what you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know mine, but like you guys get whatever.
Let's
Because we're all gonna be different. Like Carmen's gonna have video games, Drew's gonna have like fucking hula hoops or whatever the fuck he's into. And fucking
why is it always mean? Like, why is it always something mean?
hula hoops.
I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever
that's the
even-
way you said it. Don't fucking back off now,
for
you
your
pussy.
bongo
Don't you bitch out now, you fucking pussy. The way you said it with derision towards
Oh,
me,
yeah.
and it wasn't derision towards hula
No,
hoops.
that is
It
not-
was
that's
it
not-
was the notion that I couldn't come up with anything else. It wasn't the way that you're mad at hula hoops. You said hula hoops or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, whatever you're
the
into.
fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was such a. I didn't
You
touch
pussy.
such a nerve.
You fucking pussy. And like you didn't do.
Yeah,
Producer
but-
Mark's
Okay.
got his stalker getting hit by a train. That's got to be that's in the top 5 for him, for sure.
Yeah, Mark did it, dude. Mark is working with Trank. Mark did it.
I
Yeah.
mean, listen, he wasn't driving the train, but he did know when the train was coming and where the train
Okay.
would be.
Let's not accidentally do the top 5 episode the week before we do the top 5 episode, right?
Fair enough. What's up, everybody?
I'll think on it.
Welcome
It's a great
to
idea, DJ.
Gravy Bait. Should we
I'm
just
really
start? We'll
glad
start
you
now.
took and value you. I thought we already started. I want all that left in.
Okay,
that,
fair enough. I didn't know
so
if you
the
wanted.
people can decide.
Oh, so they can know how mean DJ is to you once
Not
the
me,
camera's
just
cut.
saw Already do it. You know, it was completely unnecessary uncalled. We just started. We'd just been having a good time. Then Carmen shows up. Now there's an audience for DJs.
Oh, it's my fault. I'm the
Painful
one that
insults.
brings
No,
out the
not
evil
your
in him.
fault at all. The
I've
fault
never
was
insulted
entirely by
somebody
me.
with a hula
Your
hoop.
presence
It is the
brought
most
the poison out.
uninsultable. There's nothing you could least. I can't think of anything less innocuous than a hula hoop.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
I mean, but you could definitely shit
how
on a
would- how
hula
would
hoop.
something that there's nothing
Why,
less
no, you
innocuous
can't
in.
shit on a hula hoop. It
But
doesn't
you
matter
didn't shit
what
on
you're
hula
doing.
hoops.
Even
No one
if you're
gives you shit on
failing
hula hoop.
at the hula hoop, even if you're failing at a hula hoop, it rolls to
Yeah.
watch somebody go. That's the most. What is the just choice? Well,
I
what?
agree.
Okay, well, then
Wiggle.
what are you? I
And
don't
you definitely said it like that with awe and
just-
the childlike wonder.
You chose to hear it that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's fine.
That's-
It's recorded. I'm fine. I'm totally comfortable with hearing that from everyone. I'm used to it, actually, being told I'm wrong.
It ramped up because it was already condescending to me. Carmen with her video games and Drew with his fucking
I
hula
said
hoop
that's
or whatever the
crazy.
fuck his
That's
shit is.
crazy that you guys are taking offense to this.
Wow.
It's crazy that you guys are taking offense to
It's
this because
crazy that
you're
you
into video
opened an
games.
episode
Listen,
with
no,
this
no,
kind of
no,
shade.
no. Hold on. I was saying it's awesome because we're all different. You're into video games. Me and Drew ain't. So you could bring like, yo, I've been playing this rad ass game. Drew could
Mm.
be like, I've been in the forest fucking hula hooping or whatever you do. I don't know what goes on there at your mass ritual psyops.
You go there and
Look
you
at this.
dance
Keep
for the
going.
government. You go there and you
Keep going. I
just
don't need to
dance
argue.
for
I
the
need just need to let you
government.
talk. Keep going.
Okay, dancing for the government's pretty funny. I gotta give him that.
Come on, Drew.
You're out there in the woods just dancing for the government.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
wiggling
the
around
government.
for the man.
Oh, dude, you wanna? I'd be such a pussy. I'm not like DJ to not own up to this.
Mm.
I gotta tell you all about this. DJ's gonna love it. Like he's gonna love it so much that I'm already mad.
Okay.
And this is completely on that topic. Andy posted this video. I meant to send it to you, DJ. Do you know about how they think Larry Ellison's trying to buy CNN?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Andy posted this video from this gal and someone we know, like vis-a-vis Burning Man, was like, "Oh, that's my boss," and she was like, "Oh, you work for that lady? That's so cool." And he was like, "No, I work for Larry Ellison."
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude. Have you ever seen the board of directors of Burning Man?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's all tech garbage.
Yeah,
dude.
and
I mean,
must say,
I've been saying that from the jump. To be fair,
No, I just like to give you a little razzmatazz.
Yes, but I think that the fact that essentially the camp lead, I don't know, like he sometimes listens. I don't want to, like, I fucking love Casey, and everyone who works in San Francisco's boss is fucking evil. I just knew you'd love that someone I go to Burning with. Apparently, I didn't know this. I'm one fucking step removed from Larry Ellison. Now, by the way, we really don't talk about work. It's just like not what we do. I know he's in tech. My guess is by his boss, it's like the same way that I don't know for sure, but I've been to his house. It ain't that big. I don't think he's hanging out in the boardroom with Larry Ellison. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm certain Larry Ellison has just been mean to him, and then there was money at some point.
My guess is he's gotten 3 emails from him, and that's it. My guess is by boss, he means he owns a company I work at. But I may be undercutting my boy.
Mhm.
He might be in there.
Maybe he could be the voice of reason.
Where is there? Where?
I don't know. How many companies does Larry Ellison own? I mean, I would say over 16, unless you're counting shell companies, then the over under 1,600. So who knows, brother? Like, honestly, I feel bad that I think I said his name a minute ago. Maybe I didn't, but like,
you didn't at first, and then you were like, "We all know, we all love it." And I was like, "Oh, well, now we're telling who it is," because it was vague at first.
Fuck. Honestly, I have like.
Clock it, producer Mark. Can we beep out his name?
Francisco.
We'll clock it. We'll take care of it.
Truly, everyone who works in San Francisco works for an evil person. I just thought that DJ would get a kid.
The devil bought it. The devil bought that city of sin.
Yeah, for sure. I've always like in my brain when you tell me you do stuff like that, it's like everybody's mic'd up and fucking put in fucking weird chemicals and doing tests on everybody, and it's all very fucking weird and gross.
It's so much more boring than that, unfortunately. You know what I mean? That's the problem, is the evil is there, but it's so banal.
Yeah.
That's what evil, the banality of evil, Drew, the bananas of evil.
Bananas of evil.
I had some evil bananas the other day. I caught myself looking at a Banana Republic shirt on the internet.
Oh, wow.
That's how it starts.
The potassium got you.
I just wanted a sweater, a cozy sweater. I was like, oh, I'm a dad. Let me get a dad sweater. And, you just type in sweater. Next thing you know, evil bananas.
Mm-hmm. They wanted you. They're trying to recruit you, Drew. Next, you'll be getting Tommy Bahama ads. You watch.
I think I must have failed some test if that's what it is. I think they're trying to recruit me, and then they're like, nah, he's going to take the money and rob. I am.
Yeah, or it could have been some sort of AI psychosis that you were going through.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were looking for a dad shirt, and now you started just fucking hallucinating. Like fucking, it's not even.
They knew he was tired and easily influenced. They're like, what if we throw it at him now? Throw it at him now.
God, I would love to be psychosis.
I don't think you would. It sounds bad.
You don't know me, dude. You think I like hula hoops? I fucking suck at hula hooping.
You don't know me.
Good hula hooper. That's surprising.
You don't know me.
Is surprising.
I don't know.
That's probably the most surprising thing
of a person, apparently.
I don't.
You in your snake pants and your hula hooping.
I know what you do.
With your chest out.
You say you're a golden god. You hula hoop. You stick your dick in a girl wearing a boa. Okay, yeah, my wife. But
just blowing on a conch shell.
Yeah,
with some bongos.
Yeah, dude. I've got Matthew McConaughey's book on tape playing on a loop.
Oh my God!
You said it. You said it. Yeah, you said it. You got a poetry book out now.
Someone should put that though into an EDM song. I think that it would go viral.
Could that be our Patreon? Is we do David Duchovny versus Matthew McConaughey poetry?
I would bet that Matthew McConaughey is probably better.
Yeah, he's like I was going to say in a walk, dude.
Yeah.
The amount of faith that you have in that man is upsetting. I think that's more upsetting than the hula hoop thing. To be like, oh, you're a Matthew McConaughey lover for sure. Oh, I've offended you both. This is exciting.
It's upsetting to think someone likes Matthew
Yeah, but does that
100%? DJ thinks that's who I am.
Yeah.
No, it's not who I think you are.
Well, yeah, uglier, sure. Less charming, of course. Less talented, absolutely. It's with all the bad shit.
That's not even remotely true.
I hope the audience enjoys this as much as I do. I really do.
Dude, they have to at this point. Like, there's no one that's still around who does it. There's no one sitting there going, oh, I hate when they do this. I wish they'd get back to talking about a goat and getting along. Although they do like the goat stuff. Maybe it is that. I was trying to think of like, what else do we do? Me and DJ specifically. When you're not here, Carmen, all we do is conspiracies and fight.
Well, I don't want to ruin that. People seem to like that.
Honestly, let me take that back. We don't fight. I still think your presence is drawing out the fight.
Well,
who's fighting?
Nobody. Who are you saying is fighting, DJ?
Why you always got to go against everything we say, DJ?
I didn't think there was a fight. I didn't know there was a fight. You're like, we're always fighting.
I don't think there's a fight.
And I'm just like, I just don't think that's. Yeah, I don't know if that's what we're doing. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I'm just out here.
I got one for you.
Okay, bring it on.
I want to hear y'all's thoughts on what's actually happening. And then if you side on one side of it, I want to hear your thoughts on if I should do anything about it. Not do anything, but just like, does it matter? My precious wife and my precious baby. I came home, I went to do a show or whatever. And as part of Andy like cycling through toys, this round of cycling through toys, she's going to donate some of his toys. And so she was teaching Rozzy, or trying to, and it's one of those things where when you read about it, it's like, all right, these 2-year-olds don't understand, but you still model it. You still explain everything to them. You want them to, what they will learn is learning, is listen to mom and dad and engage with the world. So she's basically telling Rozzy, we're going to give some of your toys away to other kids. It'll make them happy, you know, trying to use basic words like that so they can have Christmas. You want to do that? Yes. Okay. Let's go through these toys. We're going to give these toys to other kids. Yes, I want to do that. Why do you want to do that, Rozzy? I want to make them happy. And she was telling me this, and she was like, you know, there's just, he doesn't really know what's going on, but it's sweet that he's like mimicking me and like saying the sweet things. And then I pull this truck out and I say, we're going to give this to kids. And he says, no, me. At that moment, she says, I realized he understands we're giving some of these toys away to other kids and he wants to do that. But this particular toy he wanted to keep. His, you know, minute version of selfishness, maybe. And I'm like, listen to this. And I'm like, this is precious, but I don't think our child is Mother Teresa. Bad example. I forgot that Mother Teresa was evil. What do you guys think he is to?
I think he can grasp the concept. This gone, this stay. You know, and if he's just saying, I have an emotional attachment to this. I want to keep this. I don't want this to go away. Whether he understands that it's going to be helping other kids, like all of that. I mean, I obviously haven't hung out with him, but he seems like a kid that is capable of sharing his toys. Is he not?
I mean, yeah, maybe. Sometimes when he's playing with other kids, he's definitely not capable of doing that. It's just like such an interesting thing to think about consciousness.
Sure.
And you read about like what's the normal progression of development. And then when something happens that kind of goes against that, I do think there's an instinct if you love your kid, especially as much as we do. I mean, we're clearly disgusting about it. Where you're like, well, he's a perfect. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But I don't want to tell. I don't want to take that from him. Do you think that's correct? My instinct is to be like, come on, dog. But then I'm like, let her have this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he's okay with some things leaving and not, he understands the difference of it. Like I said, I don't know if he understands the nuance of like, you would feel good making other people feel good. Like, I don't think he would get all of that yet. But I do think like, I mean, and maybe this is a good step to get him to be better at sharing his toys with other kids. Because if he was already like okay with other kids playing with his toys and stuff, then I think this would be already an easier thing for him to grasp. But if that's already difficult for him, the fact that he's saying okay, it might be like he's either learning that right at this moment, or he doesn't understand that he's never going to see those toys again.
Yeah. I mean, like, and also, like, whatever happened in that moment, it's all but moot now. He will have forgotten it, but he definitely, like, put some toys in there that he likes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, I think the more interesting conversation that's not just about my own kid is, like, when does empathy, or whatever you would call that, develop?
I think now.
And where's it come from?
Like 3 to 6, right? That's why they always say, or no, 5. It's 5 to 8, I think. That's like the worst time to ever have a divorce is between 5 to 8, because that's when they learn human connection. That's where
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. And
Where did you read it? What is going on?
early
around?
childhood development and with developmental psychology.
That's right.
I mean, this is years ago, so maybe it's changed since now. But like when I was in school to be a shrink, that was the thing. It was like before or after. Before, they'll forget and not understand, but between 5 to 8, that's when like they understand human connection, and they understand like this is their basis of relationships in their earliest point. This is the part where they'll genuinely remember if something really traumatic, really big happens like that. So
where do you think? Do you have any thoughts? And by the way, sorry, I always forget that you haven't been a comic since you were 2 years old. It does feel like that sometimes, and that's definitely a compliment. What about empathy? Like, where's it come from? Is it like it can't just be connected to consciousness, or maybe it can? I mean, I feel like some animals have it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like elephants get real sad and shit.
Yes.
So does your background in development and psychology have an answer for where does empathy come from?
I don't know what, like, when you learn it. That I definitely don't know. I never asked that specifically.
Apart from when, like, what do you think it comes from? DJ, jump in here.
I'm still curious about the first question.
Okay.
Like, are you asking what on what side? Like, are you saying
Rosie
should I tell Andy that my child is a human being? It like may not be the fucking, the sunset and shine and be the most perfect angelic Jesus-like figure in the world.
I don't think she has that. She's definitely like a candidate for it. We definitely have to watch out. You know what I mean? It's like
We're the only child, so it's gonna have that thing going on.
Yeah. I just honestly, it was more like a curiosity. First of all, it was a curiosity of like, when does that start to happen? She was like pleasantly surprised. She was like, I just thought he was just mimicking me until I realized he knew some toys were going away and some were staying. And then my immediate thought when she said that was like, come on, nuh-uh. But then I was like, why would I say that to her? And then I thought, well, you just said, well, maybe you say it to her so she doesn't think the sun rises and sets in her precious little son's asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you don't say it to her because, hey, man, we're all trying to find some joy in this life. And this seems to make her happy. But honestly, I didn't think much about it. I mostly just thought, should I argue with her or not? And then I came to you guys because I thought it'd be interesting. And now you're asking these penetrative questions because you're the attorney now.
You're also okay. Carmen? So this was more about Andy and less about. I thought we were talking about Rosie. My bad.
It's both.
Yeah.
The first question is like, whoa, where is the kid at? And then the second one is, if you have something, I guess kind of, I don't know how to frame the question, but like, it's like, oh, do I let her have this one or not?
Do I let her have this one?
Well, there it is, guys.
Do I let my trad wife make a decision for herself? Do I allow my woman to have her own thoughts?
I mean, DJ, you framed the question. I don't know why you're coming at me like it makes no sense. You are who framed it.
No, you were just like, should I shit on my wife and child?
No, not at all. The question comes from what you were. That's just a phrase. It's a
Do I
very
let
common
her
one. Lots of
believe
people
in our
say it.
child, or do I ruin?
Well, a different way to frame it, as DJ just said himself, is like the tension is, okay, should I nip this in the bud? Is it going to be a problem if Andy frames everything he does as perfection? Or am I like overthinking that and should
Okay, that's
let her have it, which
Yeah.
is a common phrase. A common phrase, people.
Do I allow her to think for herself, or
No, there is
Everyone's getting a lot from this.
no,
we're kidding.
there is a problem. There's obviously a problem with like putting your child on a pedestal and then them going out into the world and being like,
An asshole?
so you right.
It's that rich kid syndrome shit. Mm-hmm.
Or weak.
So
Like, even if they're a good person, they just can't stand. Like, there's a weakness there. It's like, yes, they could become an asshole, but also you can put a kid on a pedestal and they're not a bad person. They're not an asshole. They just can't handle not winning or whatever.
yeah, right. Yes, sure. Yes. Yeah. Can't handle the world not revolving around them.
Can't prosper.
Yep. Right.
Yeah,
Or
you don't
try
want to
to.
raise a narcissist. I think at the end of the day, that's ultimately what we're all going for, is to not raise a narcissist. So
Or a pussy.
sure, actually, I'd prefer a pussy to a narcissist.
Or a fucking pussy. No, I know.
But I
Look,
do.
I don't think Andy's in danger of that. Honestly, this got way deeper than I intended it to.
Of course. Well, yeah, that's what we're psychoanalyzing it. But the question here,
Me,
though,
you're psychoanalyzing me. That's what you're most. I was like, hey, here's a question about two different people, and you guys are like, what about you? Why are you asking this?
no.
I was wondering what the question was. What your question?
Yeah, because we both thought different things. I thought you were talking about Rozzy's development, and he thought you were talking about something entirely different. So we were just kind of.
There were two questions. I
Mhm.
quite literally said, here's one question, and then a follow up to that.
Okay, well then, what was the second question? Now that we just have no idea what the third question was.
The first question is, do you think a 2-year-old is capable of, processing that in a way and saying, wow, I'd like to give my toys away to kids because it'll make them happy?
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, then fuck the second question. Hell yeah, my kid rules. Let's move on, dude.
But I think the more important thing is he should be able to share. I think like that's a bigger a bigger thing.
That just like doesn't really develop until like 2.5 or 3 usually.
But also, if he doesn't want to,
Maybe he's ahead of the curve.
if he doesn't want to give away his favorite toy, you shouldn't fucking beat him over the head about it and be like, oh, you shit.
DJ thinks I hula hoop and am a bad dad.
No, I didn't think you would do that. I wouldn't think you would do that. Oh,
We were riffing.
but let him have it.
Yeah.
You're gonna give
Let him
away
have
this
it,
toy.
DJ. Let him have it.
You're gonna give away this toy in a ceremony in the woods, sponsored by the government.
Right.
It's a Toys for Tot drive, which is not an op. I don't care what Uncle DJ says. Toys for Tot. The cops are doing a good thing.
Wow. Wow. Man. Wow.
1877 car.
So you have to tell me, did you let him keep the truck, or did you make him still give it away?
No, we let him keep it because it was never. The idea was like, hey, it's time to like cycle out toys. Like he has too many toys because he
Right.
has 2 sets of grandparents alive
Mhm.
and all these aunts and uncles, and they all have kids, and he's the baby of the grandkids, right?
Mhm.
So literally,
Everything's
almost
going to
weekly,
him.
There's
Mhm.
just a box on my fucking porch where people who grew up poor and now aren't poor literally don't know how to throw anything away, but they don't have room in their house. By the way, this is not a bit or a hypothetical or a what is it when you make it bigger than it is? Exaggeration.
Mhm.
Quite literally, hoarders in our family are dropping off toys that now like they psychologically can do that, but they
Mhm.
couldn't throw them away. And we just have to figure it out. And when you have a 2-year-old walk on the porch and see dinosaurs, you can't explain to them we don't have any room for the dinosaurs. So then you got to get rid of toys.
Mm.
Sorry.
No, that makes sense. I mean, there is a bit there for sure. I mean, because not only from that, but even from the economic side of it is
Yeah.
that's the same thing. I grew up poor, and then my parents did well. later on.
Yeah.
So now they're doing well, but they weren't doing. So I've always been mad. Like I could have been a rich prick this whole goddamn time. And now it's just now you want to like now I don't need anything now. I don't need you raised me to not want for things, and now you're like, what can I get you? And I'm like, I don't. Yeah.
What is that, daughter? You don't what? Oh, so we nailed it. I think that if I was going to do a bit, and I wasn't really going to, but if I was going to do a bit, I think trying to do it with a lot more love. The other analysis is like things used to last. And you were poor. So it's like a combination of you worked hard for this, and if it broke, you fixed it. And now, dude, it's all just fucking microplastic dissolving in your hands.
Yeah, disposable. Everything's disposable. Yeah.
And you should dispose of it or it's going to give you cancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
The half-life on the eyeball of this fucking dinosaur, not great.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like after you hit probably mid 90s, whenever like big plastic, because that was like also when the oil men were really thriving. I mean, going into because it was the boom in the 80s, right? So then the 90s we would get all of the plastic products, and so I feel like the further away you get from that, because then they were thick. It was like they were like, oh, they thought they had an avalanche of abundance of this oil, so everything was like still made to somewhat last. You could have plastic. It probably was more toxic because they weren't testing it as much. But then the closer you get to now, over the last 20 years, you get a thinner plastic. You get a plastic that leaks more. It's poorly made. Everything is made to be thrown away. It's not being made to be kept. So passing things down, I think, is more of a danger than it used to be. It used to be helpful. And now, especially once you've had it for 4 years or 5 years and it's been in the sun or been left out in the fucking, left in the yard or thrown in the pool and left in a pool or whatever your case is, then yeah, it's already disintegrating and now you're going to give it to a fresh baby. That seems like poor. That seems bad.
Can you be my social lawyer? Because that's that's what I've been trying to say. But it's like there's no way to say that to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like let's just say talking about politics with a normie right now. You can't hey, we dropped some toys off at you. Why do you hate my son?
Yeah.
Well, think about it this. Like your son's probably like the last generation who's going to be able to enjoy this type of abundance, or that's probably the last generation. So that's good. So let them fucking
let them have it.
Yeah, I let them have that one. And then this is what I've been doing. I just throw it away, and they don't know because when they come over, they don't go, "Where's that toy that I finally?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I do. I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much. I can't wait to see him play with this," and then I send it to Goodwill if it's worthwhile, or I throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a very funny thought that would only be specific to this conversation. It's like, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but one of the only real ways to combat microplastics in your body seems to be fermented food.
Mm-hmm. Get you some kimchi, dog. Get you some kimchi.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know this, but 2-year-olds hate that shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do I gotta eat the crap? Because grandmother can't throw away toys. That's why.
That's how you end up not being able to talk to a normie. It gets to that place. But maybe if you hula hoop while you say it, it'll be less disarming.
I need a wooden hula hoop.
You can hula hoop.
I can't, brother.
We'll
show you next time we're together. And you know what? Okay. I'll admit this to you, DJ, to make you feel better in your little world there. It hurts me. It irks me. Feel like I should be able to through osmosis, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Right.
Just through watching everyone around you do it for copious amounts of time.
That's so crazy. That's something
now, who can, like a motherfucker.
Andy.
Yeah.
Well, she's a goddamn swan. She's so fucking. Of course she can.
She's beyond it.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't hula hooped in years. That's she's got this thing that she calls a pixel whip.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. I saw her with those.
Hell yeah. She's.
Pixel whip. I don't know what
Yeah.
a pixel whip is.
It's basically a whip made out of LED lights,
Oh, okay.
and
Right.
then you dance with it. Like if you don't know what you're doing, you hit yourself in the face and people around you constantly.
Yeah, it's like somebody
But
with
if you do know what
nunchucks for the
you're
first
doing-
time.
It like flows around your body.
Yeah, I was thinking like I was imagining her like with the ribbons. You know, people used to dance with the ribbons.
It's similar to that,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and she has those now.
Yeah.
She just got a set. Okay, I mean I see it now, DJ, but yeah.
I mean, dude. I mean, that's not a crazy thing.
Well, we're different people. We have different personalities, you know.
Who?
Different interests.
Us?
Me and Andy.
Okay, but like,
Barely. No, I get that. I heard it when I said it. Yeah. I was trying to think of how to like prove this to you, like throw it back at you, be like, well, Dre's into X, and I wouldn't. But it's like, no, whatever it is, I would say that about you too.
can I show you guys something and then you guess what it is?
And I
Yes.
am into it. I just ain't good at it. Go ahead, brother.
All right, I'll be right back. Go ahead.
You know, in some ways, I hate that he's missing this. It's kind of a compliment to me because really what he's saying is, I know you want to be good at hula hooping, and I just assumed you were.
Yeah. he had a belief in you. That's all it was.
But I do hate hula hooping and pixel whipping and all that shit. Like, if I
That
get
fairy
why
core
that would
shit?
shock him, but like, I hate all that shit.
Yeah. Why is that?
I just hate doing it. It's not fun to me.
Mm. It does seem more of like a female-centric thing or femme presenting thing to be like
Well, the dude do the
flowy-
balls.
the ball. Yeah, it's always like that's what I'm saying. It's always like juggling
like that either.
or yeah. It seems a little different.
I don't like that
It's in
either.
a different place, so I gotta get it later.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Sorry.
Is it art?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Why'd you say it like that? Is it like a dead animal art? Is it cool like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
How did I know?
And he wants to know if we can see what kind of animal it is now that it's been transformed into a work of art.
Okay, now this
Yeah.
this is Patreon material right here. You need to film that bad boy and throw that up on the Patreon.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's worth money.
Man, we can make some money off that.
Yeah. We can make some money off that.
We can make some money off that.
Mm-hmm.
Just a side note that I just thought of, Tim Robinson, who I think is like a very weird type of genius. He has that thing that's a meme now. I've got to make money off this.
Mm-hmm.
It's simply too good.
Yeah.
Everything he does, I have seen a redneck uncle do, just not, but like in a much bigger, almost obnoxious way. Like part of Tim's brilliance is the character is like this almost humble Midwesterner. Anyway, that's just something I was thinking of the other day when I saw one of his characters doing. So I'm like, yeah, that's just the redneck uncle, dude.
Mm-hmm. It's
Like the goofy hat. Every redneck uncle I've ever had wore a hat that made no sense and thought it made him look cool.
Mm-hmm. I saw for any young people that listen to us, I saw a young woman she was making a meme about it was her with the bald guy filter on. So there's this young woman and a bald guy filter on, and it said being at a 37-year-old guy's apartment, and then all it is him trying to show her Tim Robinson sketches for 25 minutes. She's like, I'm late. It's my grandmother's 95. It's her 95th birthday. And he's like, wait, hold on. There's one more. You got to watch the one with the hot dog. And he's like making her watch Tim Robinson sketches on fucking YouTube. It made me laugh so hard. I sent it to like 4 or 5, the 5 women in their 20s that I hang out with, and they were all like, oh my God, this is so true. And I was like, damn, I didn't know it was hitting like that. But it made me laugh.
DJ?
God.
I didn't
What
mean
do
to
I
cut. We didn't mean to cut you off, but do you want to tell us more about the art, or are we saving it for Patreon?
Yeah, can you tell us anything?
I gotta go get it. It's in a different place. That's what that's what I was saying. It's like it wasn't where I thought it was, and it is. I know where it's at now, and it's gonna take a minute
Okay,
to assemble it and all that. I thought it was right at hand, but
gotcha. Well, that's
It's all
exciting.
reality.
That's so exciting. You did this
we'll
last
count
week
that, though,
too.
as gravy baby. We'll count that as your gravy baby. Was
Art.
Did you make it, or did you just observe it being made? Or
No.
did you find it?
Can't even get into it.
All right, fair enough.
Ooh.
Secret.
Patreon.com/gravybabypod if you want to get in on this.
Patreon. Yeah, or you can listen to renegotiating the social contract by creating reclaiming radical psychedelia. And that's something that I've been on. That is what is gravy to me, reclaiming psychedelia. You know who I think is doing it, is really like pushing this the best right now? I think it's the Somalis. The Somalis have really been able to grasp the concept of their argument, right? And turn this aesthetic, the stylization of the memes that they have put forth is really it counts as psychedelia to me, in the fact that these arguments that you're making, these absurd arguments that you're making, are so meta. You know what I'm saying? You're not having to come out with this blunt force, oh, racism, whatever. But you're doing it with this type of very tactfully, very artfully, very, very
so it's more nuanced, would you say?
Yeah, I would say, you know, and that's the whole thing about psychedelia. I think with radical psychedelia, psychedelia itself was always known as the style or aesthetic of this type of movement. You know what I'm saying? Which ended up being marketed to, like, with lava lamps and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Tie-dye and lava lamps. But that's not it. There's deeper stuff and deeper ways those ideas, those radical ideas, revolutionary ideas, were pushed forward through the art. And it kind of just got manufactured. Yeah, that's something that was.
I
always felt that.
Like to hear.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, please.
You have that conversation with Carmen's friends, Cheech and Chong. No, I'm serious. I'm completely serious. Their role, accidental or consciously, in bringing it to the mainstream, but then also therefore opening the door so that it could be completely bastardized. If you look at someone like Snoop Dogg, it's almost impossible to make an argument that he wasn't conscious of what was happening when he decided to become Martha Stewart's friend as opposed to a gangster. And however you feel about that is whatever, but like, it's clear it didn't happen to him. It is to me anyway. He went and did it.
Yeah.
With Cheech and Chong, I could buy an argument that it happened to them, like that they were real counterculture motherfuckers who were so good at it they became culture. What does that feel like? And to catch everyone else up, if you missed what the professor was teaching there, just real quick, the Somalians, I don't know if all of the Somalians are doing this, but the thing now, the bit is that they're claiming Minnesota online through memes the way that Zionists claim Gaza, right, in the land that is Israel. And it is very meta and it is very funny. And when you hear psychedelia, DJ's talking about the culture around it. By the way, I misinterpreted you. When you first started talking about this, DJ, like a few weeks ago, I thought you just meant doing drugs and talking about it.
It has absolutely nothing. You can do drugs.
Right.
You're changing your perception of this matter, like reclaiming that type of radical psychedelia where you're changing your perception of it. And you can do this, and being able to present this through those types of memes, I think it's a perfect example of that. Usually it is.
Because it's so meta, it's unbastardizable or just harder to bastardize?
Right. Well, I don't think anybody's going to be like making T-shirts and like, I don't think it's going to turn into that type of thing. I mean, this new fucking type of meme war, like getting into meme wars with the literal fucking government is something totally fucking new. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah, I just said sure.
Yeah, we are agreeing. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely uncharted territory.
But is it comparable in your mind to like the hippie movement or the way Che Guevara's on a t-shirt or anything else, like, is it completely new in your mind, or is it just like an extension of some of that stuff?
I mean, like the hippie movement was kind of capitalist, right? I mean, like it was kind of like always kind of not very class conscious. So as far as this is concerned, whatever is going on now, and I don't think that there is a name for it, but I think battling it, especially if you're talking about art, aesthetics, and things like this, then I would call it radical psychedelia. And it was a point that was a thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Cheech and Chong's a perfect example. I don't think that they ever had any idea that they were going to be as culturally significant. So it could be totally fucking wrong, right? The Somalians could fucking chart out and knock out a place for themselves in the common zeitgeist, the way that Chicanos are fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're fashion now.
Yeah, right. So,
I mean, I'm also like, if that's the case, considering the context of our country, I'm also here for it, because Somalia ain't been getting any kind of praise, and they've been in Minneapolis a long time. There's like a part of Minneapolis that's kind of always been a section where like most of them live and shit like that. There's been a neighborhood, and it's just gotten more and more. I mean, so to be honest with you, it's coming from the perfect place as well, I think.
Right.
This kind of, and I think that whoever says it also matters. So I think that makes it even more choice, is to be like, not only are we it's this worldly commentary, this is local commentary, and it's commentary from the person, from the source, you know? So I always think like those layers matter. The difference between like a guy going on stage and talking about a woman's period, and you know what I'm saying? Whereas I don't want to hear about it from you, you know? Versus somebody who fucking gets it.
Well, yeah, and also it's the way that they are approaching the subject with humor, and also with like, it's not this battle, oh, you're racist. The racism is already implied. You don't have to say that. You're not going to win that argument either. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're a bigot. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, you're not going to win that argument. But being able to do it in the way that they're doing it is it's just very artistic, for one, for me, which is very pleasing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's also they are making a very poignant point, a very it's undeniable point about the duplicitous and the way that one people get treated differently than the other, and it's without having to say it, and it's just without coming out and being like, it's very gratifying, and it's something that I would clock as psychedelia. Also, this whole fucking gayness versus queerness argument that's going on, I think it's super interesting. And definitely falls within the realms of radical psychedelia and how that moves throughout the media or whatever. I mean, again, these are all things that we are just watching evolve, and I just think that they're super interesting. Well, and if I were to say so,
well, my whole thing about, I mean, it was the same thing. Gayness versus queerness was kind of the same thing as far as like the fluidity argument. Is that to me made the most sense. As in that we're mostly water, it makes sense that we would be fluid about most things. I mean, think about everything we are. Like, none of us are black and white. It's kind of why AI will never achieve us, is because it can't fucking do a gray area. We're all gray areas. And well, like,
I mean, what you're talking about, though, what they're talking about is AI becoming so supreme that you become the machine and it becomes the God.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Zeros and ones. There's no
when you become the slave and it becomes the master.
Sure, but again, that's what I'm saying. I don't know that it achieves that. Definitely not in our lifetime, because of the gray. Because it cannot get to the gray area. That's why it cannot genuinely think for itself like us. That's why there will always be ways to find out something is AI, is because there is a lack of fluidity. There is always the distance between 0 and 1 is infinite. And that's where we reside. That's why it's so difficult for it to be able to grasp what reality is because it only communicates in zeros and ones. So once you go in between zeros and ones, I'm talking about binary, obviously. Once you go in between that's where reality lives. That's why it is so difficult for it to be able to do it.
I mean, but I think that's the reality we've built. Like, to me personally, and I do understand what you're saying, and I agree with you, but I also agree that even if you're going to say something like fluid or I'm non-binary, like even if you're non-binary, you're still on the binary. Let's do the reverse of that. Let's get in answer.
But that's what I'm saying. I agree with you, because that's what makes more sense. Yes. That's what makes more sense to me. That's why none of this, like all of the identity politics at the end of the day, as much as I support the people who are in and active in it, and none of it makes any fucking sense to me, because it's like all you're doing is compartmentalizing yourself. When at the end of the day, it should be all, I mean, this is as hippie as it fucking gets. It should be all based on vibes. Does this meat stack of person vibe? Does it make does it make my body react in any kind of way? And because that's kind of how it's been for me. Is there's been like females or femme presenting people that have been like, that is attractive. Do I think all of them are? Fuck no. Do I think all men are? Fuck no. There's just been beings that have been, ooh, nice. I mean, that's one of the things I love about ALOC is there is an unbridled self-accepting that I think is so jarring to people who've been compartmentalized, and i.e. fundamentalist Christians. I mean, all of these kinds of boxes where you're not even allowed to think about that, because that's always been the angle, is you're not even supposed to think about that. God would be mad at you if you thought about that. Like, there's been no exploratory on a large scale of, I think, as a result of the psychedelia that you're talking about, that like, it took probably mushrooms. It took probably me looking into oneself and all of that, where it was just like, I think this is all water. I think none of this ultimately really matters. And it takes people who don't understand that keep trying to be like, well, this is different and this is this kind of different. It's always trying to say what things are, as opposed to just accepting things as they've been or as they are, even though it is different from you. That's all it is. It's an unwillingness to accept change. And the thing is, it's not even that change, because this shit has been around for a long time. It's just a way to get us to be like, I mean, it all goes back to divisiveness and control and blah, blah, blah. We all know that shit. But at the end of the day, it's always been water. We have always been kind of a little bit of all of this. That's why it's so scary for them. That's why Grindr blows up. That's why it's all, because these are all things that they have been denying themselves. And it's just like, at the end of the day, this has been us the whole time. We're all trans a little bit on a spectrum, much like fucking neurodivergency. There's all a thing, and it's understanding where you're at, I think, is the real journey of it, and understanding that and going, yeah, man, today I feel more, because I as a bitch with a chemical imbalance, I fucking feel it. Some days I feel more dude-like than chick-like. Does that mean you're gay? Does that mean you're this? And it doesn't mean fucking anything. It just means like today I could feel I got tits. Tomorrow, I might not. I might forget. I mean, at the end of the day, being okay with that is what we're all trying to fucking get to. Sorry, I did not mean for it to go there. Sorry about that.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. Actually, the first thing I'll say, I don't know if you read this or if it just came out of your heart, or if you had written this down earlier and then it just came out, but the space between 0 and 1 is infinite. Mm-hmm. Is genuinely profound and brilliant. I mean that so much. Like, that kind of stopped me in my tracks. Probably why I just sat there the whole time. I haven't stopped thinking about that. It's like a very poetic and succinct kind of response on the artsy sort of philosophical side. There's like very practical reasons right now to be against AI, but if you're looking for a soulful way to phrase it, like what you just said, it's.
But I mean, that's not even artful. That's math. Like this is that's the math side
I
of
think
it.
that's kind of why it's so perfect. It's like turning their language on.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say is I think people really need to start reading James Baldwin instead of just using him as a meme. And I think that touches on both the conversation that I'm kind of unaware of that's going on right now between queerness and gay, but also just like nuance in general and identity in general. It's like, man, we really have really brilliant people who have walked us through this. If we just humble ourselves to go deeper. And then that reminded me of something that I saw Norman Finkelstein, am I saying his name right, DJ? Say where he said, well, tweets feel good, and that's why they beat a good argument. But if you're looking for the truth, they never do. And I thought that was smart and made sense and does describe a problem that we're having in culture right now. But going back to the Somalians, what's going to be art going forward is how do you do nuance inside the world where that is absolutely antagonistic towards the medium. The medium itself, whether it's tweets or Instagram or social media or whatever it is against nuance. Can you force it in there anyway? And I think that's why you're in love with what is going on with the Somalians doing this, where it's like, oh man, while I'm doom scrolling, you had my attention for 7 seconds and you just said 18 things it really is awesome.
It's also I think it also feeds our brain better too, DJ, because everything is on the nose, bashed into our head. I mean, it's all that for like something nuanced is I mean, that's part of the thing that's happening in the fucking film industry. All this shit is connected. Is now they want actors to state what they're doing so people don't have to actually watch the film. That they would prefer you just state the things that you're doing as well as your dialogue so that you can passively listen to a film as opposed to sit down and be engaged and like that's why you have like the Guillermo del Toros of the world like rebelling against this, where like, no, we want you to have watched this and to have these things that you have to have noticed on this screen. We want the nuance. We want all that stuff because that's for the longest time was how you enriched the art that you were consuming. As opposed to like as splattering racism is bad on a canvas and being like, you're never going to guess what this is about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure. Yeah.
But there's a paradox though. Like the most simple way to say this, and it's very dramatic. I apologize for that. My brain maybe isn't working up to speed, but the simplest way to say it is like, it doesn't matter if you're gay or straight until you get mistreated for being gay.
Right.
There is this paradox of like, well, it's mattering to me in the moment that I'm living in.
Right.
And so like, this to me goes back to like the black squares. You know, there was this like understandable pushback of like, what, this is the weirdest virtue signal ever. And I'm like, I always felt like, well, virtue signaling is bad when it replaces virtues. But it is not bad inherently on its own. I always think of the great Roy Wood Jr. joke, let him keep the rebel flag. I need to know what gas station not to go to. Well, so I think there is an inherent contradiction of when you're existing in the world. It's like trying to tell a mom to stop using Chat GPT, a single mom who uses it like for her grocery list. It's like, she's living in a world where it is helping her life. Like you have to deal with that reality. You can't just start with like that reality is part of, I don't know.
But that's why you still get my because again it's trying to put water in boxes. So I think that's where all of
sometimes
the
you need to
rigidness.
put the water in a box though. Like I feel like you can't, like you don't need to, but you want to. There's a human desire to do that. We cannot discount that.
For the point of understanding.
Everything that you said, but the reason it's working is because motherfuckers are clamoring for boxes.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing with the identity part of it. Isn't it's like
Right.
then what are you? And it's just like why does that need to be answered? That's an answer for myself, not for you to know what I am or what it is. That's what I'm saying is like if that question was deleted, then none of this would fucking matter. But because that's not the case, obviously that's why I'm still in support. I'm here to help, to convince, to convince people that these people are people, that all of these people are people, and whether you understand it or not, it doesn't fucking matter. So that's what I'm saying. Either way, I'm gonna fight. But that conceptually, that's why none of this makes any fucking sense to me.
Well, that's two things. Right. You're not talking about giving up the fight. You're talking about using different weapons. But you're also talking about your main weapon being like a change of consciousness. Like you're changing the conversation. You're changing the consciousness. I mean, the way that our identity has been formed and focused, like completely, like from as long as I remember, is through materials and this material, and this is what defines you. Oh, this shirt is so me. Oh, this is so you. Blah, blah, squat, right? Hula hoop and all this stuff, right? But beyond that, there's something. There is more to that, and to really understand the true humanity of a person. And I think that's another thing that the Somalians really are being able to do, is that they are being able to show their humanity in this totally different way. And so it's like, it's like we have to change the narrative, even of ourselves. And I think just it's going to take a totally social, a revolution of thought and action and art and everything, and just how everything is done, period. And one way to do that is to change your perception. But this old guard of like, I am this, I am that, it's just gonna have to fucking go. It's gonna have to have a lot of class consciousness attached to it.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just, because the sexuality whole part of it also, when you think about the difference in between gayness and queerness, like you see it mainly in media and stuff like that. But if you talk about like why, but like people like on a work site or whatever are totally fine with being gay with each other, right? But they're not okay with like queerness. Now, queerness is something totally different. So something, in my opinion, which is a lot more human, and it is a lot more uncontrolled, right? And where the gayness comes in, and why I don't think the homoeroticism of this current ecos or whatever atmosphere, the reason why it's like that nobody's ashamed of it is because it's about domination, it's about power, it's about masculinity, it's about this type of homoeroticism, which is so very different from queerness.
It's very
totality.
That's the other part of it, is then once you start bringing shit into it, because that's to me all sounds like baggage to me. That seems, again, you not being comfortable with oneself, you being your value is based on how man you are, like all of that stuff still seems like it's because you don't think the queerness is scary to you, because but again, it always goes back to, you feel like maybe there is a little in there, maybe there, and it's just it all goes back to I don't know, dude. It just honestly just being a pussy, dog. Like that's what that is. That's why it's got to be big prisoner take little prisoner. I'm not gay. I just big prisoner take little prisoner. It's like, you know what I'm saying? There's always got to be that framework around it.
I have to go. To do something.
All right.
Come on, man.
You guys keep going, dude. You guys keep going.
What time is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Bye. Come to see Well Read at Zany's.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think
I'm sorry I yelled in agreement with you, but I think I just try to I'm try to understand the opposition, even if I don't agree with it, and it just ultimately just doesn't make any sense. Because to me, queerness is the freedom of it. That's and I'm pro
that's right, exactly.
freedom. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I was thinking about queer media, and I was thinking about like even like in let's say like okay, Hellraiser is a great example of this, right? Because Clive Barker is a queer author, and but there's so much queer iconography in different in like fantasy, horror, sci-fi. There's so much more
Also
iconography.
non-binary, there's way more of that too, and there's been way more of that in other cultures for centuries. There's like a white supremacy thing about like the rigidness comes with a lot of the white supremacy thing. Like there's been way more androgyny in Native American cultures. There's been way more of this like fluidity in like Amazonia. Like all of these other cultures have way more of a fluid between gender than these white folks.
Right. Well, but like in Hellraiser, right? You see this like let's take the relationship between like Frank and what's her name, Julia. This is a totally heterosexual white like straight relationship, right? But it has a taboo in it. You know what I'm saying? But the taboo isn't necessarily seen as negative in the film. It kind of is, and I think that that's what queerness does, is that it lifts the taboo up. And I'm talking just about art right now.
Sure.
Is that it lifts the taboo off of a subject, and not just necessarily sexuality, but I think of like desire, lust. These are things that I'm speaking. It is not limited to this, but it's in this film by itself. And it
wait, what was the name of the film? I didn't hear the name of the film.
Hellraiser.
Oh, duh. Sorry. Okay, my bad. I thought we switched. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm still talking about Hellraiser. Well, it's just fascinating because like this isn't necessarily like the lust and the desire and just the humanness of the relationship, and like the whole, and then it's just it kind of lifts this veil off this thing, and it's just it's there's not anything. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just something that simply is. And it's fascinating. Twin Peaks is another one that's just so queer coded because it just takes these. It's like David Duchovny's a trans his role in that, and it's not really. There's no sexuality one way or another. It's kind of just human. It's kind of it's not blunt, but it's also not subtle. And this taboo is lifted off, and then it's just this human thing, like this human state. You know what I'm saying? And I think you're right about that thing about this. The queerness is something that really can't be controlled, and it's something overtly human. Whereas I think in this weird homoerotic gay, it's just like, it's been something that's been in the West forever, like since, the Greece and Romans and fucking, all this shit. It always goes back into this thing where it's not a glitch. It's like, it's a feature, this whole thing, this whole masculine worship. And it's something very, very different from what the worship of masculinity and the sexualizing or not fetishizing of masculinity.
If anything, this just proves that it's different from sex. Gender is different from sex. Like, I mean, if anything, that's all of this shit is proving is that these are very different things, and people always like to slam them to put them in the same category, and it's very much not. It's very much not, because that's what it always goes. Well, what about the sex part? That's always where this ends up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. But none of it has anything to do with sex, and then like I mean sexuality. I mean, at least in my opinion, but of course I'm thinking purely about
but the power dynamic, all that stuff. I mean, that's the other thing too, is the worship of power. That's the whole thing.
The worship of power, the patriarchy, right?
So at the end of the day, it all seems just like it's worshiping to the same thing, their collective god, which is power, masculinity, male, all of that stuff. That's what your god is, and that's why they're mad at Jesus, because Jesus wasn't that guy. So that's why they're like, Jesus was woke. And it's like there's they're using Christianity as an to be like, this is what man is now, because they're not even creative enough to come up with their own. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Creativity. I think creativity is queer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Creativity is queer as fuck. Absolutely. All right, we gotta go. We love you guys. Gravy baby. Join the Discord and patreon.com/gravy baby pod. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets. Like,